What's up, YouTube? So it's kind of windy out here. I hope it doesn't mess with the sound. Oh, I just realized I still have my hanky on. I just got back from a trip to Menards. It's kind of crazy out there. This world's gotten a little nuts, but this too shall pass. So I just wanted to give an update. We haven't done an update video in a long time, it feels like. And so I thought I'd give an update and let you know kind of what's going on here. How the world has turned. So we've grown quite a bit. In our last video, which was, gosh, I don't know, like about a month ago, we showed that we had gotten some chicks, and they're doing awesome. They're getting huge. So they're still growing. They're now outside, and we have built since then a raised bed and planted in that. We've got plans for another garden bed. We've been very busy despite all the craziness. Today is kind of a mellow day around here because it's kind of chilly and it's not really planting weather and it's just kind of uncomfortable outside. So I took today to do some errands. Like I said, I just got back from Menards, ran a few other places. And now I'm going to spend the rest of the day planning out our next garden bed that I'm hoping to get out into tomorrow. So I'm just going to kind of take you around. Right now I'm in the backyard, and I'll take you over here. So we had the chickens previously, well, the first flock that we got was out in this back garden that I'm going to show you. It's a 40 by 60 foot bed that they prepped for us. It was so weedy and just gross and overgrown because we really didn't take care of it last year, but we had them working in this garden bed, and I'm just gonna stop here and give you the full view. But these ladies are amazing. I've seen a lot of videos and talked to a lot of people that have said, chickens are great workers. I think they downplayed that a little bit. These girls were amazing. They completely tilled all of this. It was covered in weeds that were, last fall, they were up past my knees. They were like almost waist-high weeds. It was kind of crazy. And they scratched and tilled and got it all nice and took care of all the weeds that were growing up from this spring. And then Lance came out with the tiller and tilled it up. Eventually we hope to not have to till and maybe just broad fork, because it does affect the soil quite a bit. But we did rake off those two piles that you see over there are actually the weeds that the chickens basically killed them and scratched them up, and we're going to put them into some kind of a compost pile. But they did wonderful work. So in this back garden, we're going to plant corn, and I've got all of our squashes and pumpkins that are going to go out here. And I did get from Baker Creek these sunflowers that the heads on them get massive, and they produce a large seed. So we can use those to either make our own sunflower seeds or for chicken treats, which I'm really excited to have those to see what the chickens do with that. But that's kind of what's going on back here. I'm hoping to have all of this stuff planted between now, well, it's Wednesday. So by the end of the weekend, I'm hoping to have this entire bed planted with what we're going to plant. I think they're calling for rain on Saturday, so I'm hoping to have it planted before then, because then we get free water. So we'll see what happens. I'm going to take you over here now and show you our chicken tractors that we built for our rabbits. Well, we didn't really build them for the rabbits, but it happened to work out for the rabbits. As well as the sapphire gems are in a chicken tractor. This is the chicken tractor. We actually had this steel just kind of laying around the property, so we just chose to utilize it. We ran out of hardwire mesh for the other top, so we just put plywood for right now. And Menards didn't have any, so we do have to get that fixed up so that they can get more sunlight. But I will show you how we get at it. There's actually hinges that came off of the old barn that was on our property, and so we have it on a hinge, and there's a handle, and the whole thing just kind of comes up. So we can get in and we can see the bunnies. I need to get them some water. But they are doing good. They love being out on this grass. We move them pretty much every day, especially for the rabbits. The chickens, not so much. Having issues with this stick here. So the chickens we don't move quite as frequently, but the rabbits for sure we do move. We move them daily. And so I actually just moved them. So this is what the ground looks like after they're done. And you can see the rows going back each day for where they've been. And they actually are coming back up this hill. But if I can get it on camera, they actually came down this side and now have come back up this side. So they're just going to town. They don't really care for the clover that's in the grass, but they do love the grass. So, and it cuts down on our feed bill. So that's really nice. I'm gonna go ahead and shut this. All right, and then the next one, we have another chicken tractor that we built. They're identical. They're 8 foot by 4 foot wide, and they're 2 feet tall. And in this one, we have our sapphire gems. I'm not gonna open their lid because they are a little crazy and they like to jump out and then we have to chase them around the yard. But you can see that they're in there. They are getting huge. So the sapphire gems are actually going to start laying pretty soon. Right now it is mid-May and they should be laying in, I guess, well, maybe not so soon. They should be laying in about mid-July, maybe sooner. So we're looking forward to that because we need more eggs. We are selling eggs faster than we can make them. So Lance and I actually for the last couple of months haven't really had any eggs on our homestead or from our homestead. When we do take a few, it's a nice treat for us because our eggs are super good. But right now we're pretty much just selling them all. So egg business is good. I know it was kind of scary for a minute there. There wasn't any eggs in the store. And I thought, man, we should have got chickens sooner. The yard kind of looks crazy. There's a lot of stuff everywhere. We're in the process of building and cleaning up and everything, but we're getting there. So we did finish that other coop. This is coop 2.0. And this particular coop has 20 chicks in it right now. Some of which are roosters and some of which are pullets. And so they're just kind of hanging out in there. They're not laying yet, so I'm not too worried. And they don't need any more space than what they have right now because they love each other and they cuddle a lot. But they're doing really good. We ended up putting 6 nesting boxes in this coop. They're actually able to get up to the nesting bars now, and they do snuggle in the nesting boxes at night. We'll have to break them of that later. But they're doing awesome. I'll open their door. Hey guys. They're a little bit chicken, but I'm pumped. They don't really like it when I open their door. They get really nervous. They run to the back corners. At some point, I'm going to get a lawn chair and come out here with these guys and just kind of get them used to being around people. They slowly come once you stop moving, but yeah. So this particular variety of chicken, the white ones that you see are California whites, and they will lay large white eggs. And the brown ones are just like our other ladies. They are Isa brown chickens. They're both hybrid breeds. But they're very good layers. So this will be our laying flocks. We are going to look at bringing in the sapphire gems and introducing them to each other. So we'll see what happens there. They're a little camera shy. So close these guys up. The guineas we put out in our field. We're working on trying to get them to clean up that field. We would love to get goats, but right now it just doesn't permit for it. We don't have building structure for them yet, so that is in the works. We'll hopefully be able to do that someday. We're looking to have milking goats so that we can have all of our own milk produced here that isn't pasteurized milk. Also, Lance has a hard time sometimes digesting pasteurized cow milk, so we're going to try goat milk because it is much more easy for the body to digest. You can see my beautiful raised bed that Lance built for me. He actually got a bunch of free pallets from work, and we cut them up. Well, we didn't really cut them up. We pulled them apart, took all the nails out, and then used all that wood to build this raised bed. It's 24 foot long, and it's 4 feet wide, so that'll be really nice. When it comes to harvesting, I won't be on my hands and knees. I did get it all planted, so we do have lettuce and kale and cabbage coming up already, so that's really awesome. I also had planted all of our different pots prior to the raised bed being done, just because I wanted to get some seeds started. The plan is, or it was, to build another raised bed just next door to the raised bed that we already built. But as far as materials and time and energy goes, we have decided we're going to wait on that. We can maybe do that next year. For now, we're going to just plant right into the ground. We're going to do a back to Eden garden, where you can use mulch to keep the weeds down, and it also helps keep moisture in the roots so the soil doesn't dry out so quickly. So we're gonna do that. I've got potatoes, seed potatoes to plant. I just picked up some tomato plants, organic tomato plants from Menards, because I just don't know if my seeds are gonna come up, and I was not diligent in planting them ahead of time. So I really didn't get them started soon enough, and with the cold snap that we have going on right now, I'm not really sure that I trust that they're going to come up. We did get another truckload of mulch. The tree trimming service locally for XL Energy, called Right Tree Service in our area, they came out and delivered free wood chips for us. So we got 2 truckloads. So we're going to be using some of this mulch. It's pretty rough cut, but this will be good for our back to Eden garden, or for putting around trees like our apple trees in the back. We have a couple of apple trees. I'm not sure if they're really going to make it because the deer really love them, and they've really rubbed on them this winter. It was really tough on them. So I'm going to see if I can nurse them back to health, but we'll see what happens. We have a field actually on half of our property that we don't use. And so we're trying to reclaim it, and this is perfect for goats, but again, we don't have the structure. So we have our ladies back here. They are prepping this ground and knocking down the grass. This grass was so tall, it was almost up to my knees, and they've already got it knocked down so much. They are just great workers. These are the same ladies that prepped our garden bed that I showed you earlier. And so they love it out here. They get to scratch and till, and there's all kinds of bugs and ticks and nasty things that I don't like, but they love them. And so they're just happy as can be back here. They're gonna need some more fenced in area available to them here coming soon. Probably tomorrow I plan to expand their area, because if you look out over here, there's just tall grass, and this grass will get almost as tall as me throughout the summer, so it gets a little crazy. So we're just hoping to maybe cut back on that. Lance and I did go look at a tractor this last week. We are looking at getting a tractor with a lawn deck mower, and then as well as some other implements like the bucket and the tines, and also 3-point, so that we can eventually hook up a log splitter to it, because we do burn wood in the house in the wintertime. So it'll be nice to not have to rent one for $80 at the local place that we have nearby. We also then were on Facebook Marketplace and happened to find for free a couple of chicken tractors that were in desperate need of some makeovers, but We definitely are grateful for what we got. This is the chicken tractor that we ended up getting on Facebook Marketplace. The run that you see over here was actually originally off the other side. We cut it off and walled it off. It was really janky and wasn't really working. It was definitely not predator proof. So we did build the new run on it. The run's actually longer than the original run. And there's a ramp inside the house part that they can go down, and they have access to all the grass underneath. So we've been moving them slowly. I just fed them, so they are happily eating. I had to train them to go to the top so that we can move them, so I just put a dog dish in there and they're eating out of the dog dish, but it encourages them to go up to the top so we can move them. We just moved them. I moved them yesterday, and so this was the area that they were originally in, and they've got that all tilled up real good and eating the grass down and stuff, so they're doing really good. And then if you see these black barrels throughout the yard, we keep their feed bags in there so that they don't get wet, but it's nice to have their food closer to them so that it cuts down on our time of having to run around the yard to get their food and bring it to them. And they're very portable. We can use the two-wheel cart and just move them. But things are progressing pretty quickly around here. Today, while I was out at Menards, actually from the parking lot, I had spoken to Lance, and we have decided to get our Cornish cross chicks ordered. And so I actually called today and talked to the hatchery that we got all of our Isobrown and our California whites from. So they are actually going to be sending us in August. It should be between August 5th and August 7th. I just ordered 100 Cornish cross chicks. You raise those for about 8 weeks out of the year, and then they go to freezer camps. So I've never raised meat hens, but I've studied quite a bit about it, so I'm really excited to get a chance to try it out. I've also never butchered a chicken, so this will be a fun path. We'll see what happens. But yeah, so we have tons of things going on the farm. We're working on hopefully getting the rest of everything planted, and then maybe start looking at getting some firewood ready for next year. And Lance has to fix his truck. When we went to go get the tractor that we were looking at, which wasn't ready, the fuel pump went out, so Lance has to fix that. Yeah, we just have tons of projects going on and different things. Working on our self-sufficiency and growing our own food is something that Lance and I are pretty passionate about. So we are definitely branching into new territories, even from what we've done over the last few years. And we're excited to see what happens. So thank you so much for coming along for the ride and for supporting Lance and I. I know we haven't posted a video in a while, but we're going to hopefully get a little bit better about that as time goes on here. It's just been so busy and so crazy with these chicks growing up so fast. They needed places to live, and we didn't have time to video it. So we just really appreciate everybody's support, and we hope you're all doing well, staying safe and healthy. And if you like this video, please give us a thumbs up. You can always leave us a comment too if you want to reach out. We can definitely communicate from a distance. Social distancing is a thing. So really appreciate you watching this video, and if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe. We do appreciate that because it definitely lets us know when we've got more viewers. I just checked our stats on YouTube, and it turns out that like over 50% of our viewers are not even in the United States, which I think is super cool. But I am going to go back in the house. It feels like the rain's about to start again, and I'm going to work on planning out that back garden bed. So stay tuned for our next video. Thanks for watching.